Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Movie Magic Show for Wednesday, the 29th of December, 2021, the final episode of the year. I am your host, Shane Bailey, joined by my wickedly talented cast. To my right, he loves his VR and shaking his hips like Shakira. Please welcome the era of Jason Mira. And to his right, it's the dulcet tones in your headphones, here to engineer a sincere atmosphere, Terry Fear.
Hello there.
And to his right, it's the film falating, TV show hating, thought elaborating Mr. Movies, Ben Stapleton.
Oh, that is true. Hello.
How are you, Ben?
Yeah, doing good. Watching TV show.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
Well, that's basically like an extended feature.
Well, hang on, what TV show? I missed that.
The Witcher.
Oh, The Witcher,
season
right.
2 of The Witcher started, and up to episode 2, and they're doing PV things I don't like.
Oh, no.
You know the thing how they tell one person's story in parallel to another person's story, and they have nothing to do with one another at all, and so you get like half of an episode dedicated to the progression of each, and they get nowhere with both. Yeah, that kind of thing. That's
I
what's
just
going
finished
on.
that episode.
Bloody
so I know
TV
exactly
things.
What you're talking about.
I have seen all of it.
I forgot to start it. There was all this hype, and I was like, I need to watch that. And then I completely left my mind. But I did watch the first episode of Boba Fett this evening.
That's
Which
right.
has begun.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Did
Terry Fear, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I pinched a nerve in my back yesterday holding 6 or 7 bed slats. So like nothing. Like I could lift that weight one-handed and just be like, you, all day. But because I happened to twist and be holding it in just the right way, my spine was like, and then I had to it winded me. It hurt so bad that I couldn't breathe for 10 seconds, and I managed to call out to Jen. So I've been bed resting, doing light work while Jen does the vast majority of the heavy lifting, which has made me feel horrible, but I'm glad to be here talking about some good stuff.
Just old things. No,
Yeah,
this
it's
is what
like my 35-year-old body is just like, oh, that's right, yeah.
I hurt my
twisting while
back, so I
lifting
couldn't
things.
pack the teapots properly. Oh,
Yeah.
it was a whole thing.
It was so, I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened. Ever.
Yeah.
Mr. Mira, how are you?
It's the most fun kind of Schadenfreude, because it's like the smallest thing makes the biggest pain, and it's like just really
Yeah.
fun.
Well, to echo that, I've been working because I work in retail.
Speaking of pain.
Christmas. Yeah. So I'm just so tired. But speaking of being old, it's gotten to the point now where I'll drop something and I'll go, and then
I guess that's where it belongs now.
But it's gotten to the point that my teammates are like, "Oh, it's alright, Jason, I got it for you." And I'm like, "It's okay."
You stay there. Don't exert yourself.
That is so funny.
Amazing. Anyway, we're so glad you've joined us for the last episode of the Movie Magic Show for 2021. If this is your first time, the Movie Magic Show happens every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. We chuckleheads get together to love, bash, and trash the latest the entertainment world has to offer. If you like that, follow us here on Twitch. Catch all our past episodes on my YouTube channel. Just search Magic Casts, all one word, on YouTube. And follow us on Twitter as well, at Movie Magic Show. We'll notify you when we're going live and which films we're going to be reviewing. Speaking of films we're going to be reviewing this week, I dove into my backlog of sorts and watched Aquaman, which we'll talk about in the first segment. And in the second segment, the new release Boxing Day epic, The Matrix Resurrections, the fourth film in the sci-fi, no longer a trilogy, but a quadrilogy now, graced us just a few days ago. So we will be reviewing that. Before we get to those films, though, we need to set up our end games. These are games we like to play at the end of the show. First among them are our film quotes. We're going to give you 2 movie quotes. You need to guess which films they're from. I'm going to the era of Jason Mira for movie quote number 1. I'm going to Mr. Movies, Ben Stapleton, for movie quote number 1.
It's just like when people are at the checkouts and then they say, that's $25, and they go, oh.
I did that. I did that this morning as well. I was like, oh, coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just before a coffee makes sense. That's a good excuse. Okay, here's my one. It's very, very succinct. Here we go. Crowbars up.
Very succinct.
A little
Very
too
succinct.
Not sure.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Mira, movie quote number 2.
That was really a bomb. This is a sick world we are living in with sick people.
I know this.
Xbox Gamer Dad in the chat. Good evening, sir. Merry Christmas
Oh,
to you as well. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas.
May your Chiefs be master. Full.
Merry Chrysler.
And so those are our film quotes. They're going to scroll by in the ticker below. Guess them. We'll give you the answers at the very end of the show. And the other game we like to play is 6 Degrees. We're going to give you 2 actors. You need to try and link them via actors they have starred alongside. I go to the dulcet tones of Terry Fear for this one.
Indeed. I feel deferred to. We have Sigourney's Weaver to Brendan's Fraser.
Sigourney Weaver to Brendan Fraser. We shall come to a solution together at the very end of the show. Before we get to the end of the show, let's get to the start of the show with our first review. I head on over to the deets here. A young prince separated from his family is forced to confront his royal responsibilities when a power-hungry relative makes a violent attempt to seize the throne. But enough about The Lion King. Let's talk about Aquaman. With a runtime of 2 hours and 23 minutes, Aquaman is a 2018 American superhero film based on the DC Comics character of the same name. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures, it is the 6th film in the DC Extended Universe. The film was directed by James Wan, who had previously directed both Conjuring films, Fast and the Furious 7 and Saw. And this film is based from a screenplay by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and Will Beall. It stars Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, or Aquaman, who sets out to lead the underwater kingdom of Atlantis and stop his half-brother, King Orm, from reuniting the 7 underwater kingdoms to destroy the surface world. Amber Heard, Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Dolph Lundgren, Ludi Lin, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Tamira Morrison, and Nicole Kidman appear in supporting roles. Development began in 2004, but did not gain traction until Man of Steel was released in 2013. In 2014, Beale and Kurt Johnstad were hired to write competing scripts. Wan signed on as director in April 2015, and in July 2016, the film moved forward with Beale's screenplay. The main cast was confirmed through 2016 and early 2017. Principal photography began in Australia in May 2017, taking place at Village Roadshow Studios on the Gold Coast, with additional production teams in Canada, Italy, and Morocco. Filming concluded the following October. Several vendors provided visual effects ranging from high detail hair simulations to the creation of CGI animals and locations. Aquaman premiered in London on November 26, 2018 and grossed $1.148 billion worldwide, making it the highest grossing DCEU film, the highest grossing film based on a DC Comics character, the 5th highest grossing film of 2018, and the 23rd highest grossing film of all time. Audiences seemed to like this one, giving it an average IMDb rating of 6.9 from 426,000 users, while critics were more discerning, with the film earning a Metascore of 55. Gentlemen, take a stab at the Rotten Tomatoes.
75.
75.
I'm gonna go 60.
I'm gonna split the difference. Well, close to. I'm gonna go 70.
Price is Right rules. Jason Mira wins 65%. The correct answer. Anyway, do you like my little thing at the start again there with the Lion King bit?
Yeah.
I was very proud of that one.
Like this plot, those plots are similar, but I'm pretty sure that's not for this film.
Anyway, Aquaman 2018 film. The reason why we're reviewing this film this evening is because we have been running a fundraiser throughout the course of December for Game On Cancer's Holiday Spectacular. Full disclosure, this is a fundraising campaign that myself and the team at Cure Cancer have put together to raise funds for cancer research. Neon Mirror, thanks for the sub. Oh, you did the best, man. Thank you. And if you would like, we've had people donate $25 or more and pick whichever film they like, and we review it on the show. I initially had a milestone set for $250. If we hit that, I'd review Wonder Woman, which we did last week, and Aquaman, which we're doing, this week. The next milestone we hit was $500, and therefore I will be reviewing Justice League, the Snyder Cut, next week as well. So tune in for that one. Quick around the table though, I just want to just 30 seconds tops. Jason, your thoughts on Aquaman?
It's a film.
Terry, your thoughts on Aquaman?
I like Jason Momoa. I liked his Devil May Care kind of, because this is kind of an origin story film. And as far as origin story films go within the DC, it's probably my favorite, but it's not great overall.
Yeah, it's a pretty low bar, isn't it?
Mr.
Yeah,
Movies, Aquaman.
It's low bar.
Filming, filming in rain, filming in water is terrible. I've heard. Like it's just long days of being wet all the time, and you're cold and you're miserable. I can't imagine filming like for this movie. It'd be terrible. It'd be absolutely horrible. Fortunately, a lot of it, I suppose, where it's like completely submersed and so on, that would be like green screened, and then like you said with the hair CGI coming in later. Maybe they're dry those days, but man, I would hate to be Jason Momoa for those weeks in production. But yeah, I too am a fan of Momoa. Caitlin is currently watching the Stargate Atlantis, where he originated.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that. There you go.
So he's already been to Atlantis before you see him in Aquaman, whichever A it is. And
so it's a prequel.
maybe, except in that one, Atlantis is like in a different galaxy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not just under the sea. Spoilers, sorry. And anyway, he's a lot skinnier, and you can see, like, he looks just like a tall, skinny but strong kid. And in Aquaman, he's just like a gargantuan bodybuilder kind of a guy.
Adonis.
Yeah. So it's cool to see. Cool to see the early version of him. He was really. I agree with Terry. I quite liked him in the film, but I didn't like anything else about the movie. Really.
It just everything seems so by the numbers.
Yeah. Very very paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose just we won't spend too much time on this one, but it was a very. It was very, like you said, by the numbers origin story. It's nothing being done particularly new. I came away from this film not moved in any particularly meaningful way, or having enjoyed any, I suppose, or having great memories of any particular moments throughout the film. I did like some of the action though. I liked there was a couple of like one shots where the camera's kind of like above the characters and swirling around the room or the arena in which they're fighting. And I thought it really showcased some pretty strong choreography. There's a lot going on with two-handed weapons like the tridents. I think they did fairly well with those scenes also. But man, some of the other stuff as well, like particularly the costume design of some of the enemy antagonists, particularly the Black Manta, I think his character was called. It looked like something straight out of Power Rangers in the 90s. It was pretty horrendous. And yeah, other than that, I thought Momoa was good. Couple of funny, cool moments between him and Heard. I suppose Willem Dafoe did best he could with the script he was given. Yeah, other than that, I
forgot that he was in it.
Right,
He was
yeah.
In it.
Oh yeah, it's like Lena.
I did enjoy a lot of the the underwater world building though, like the really cool creatures and the way that they were used, and I suppose the attempt at recreating warfare that you typically, or the type of warfare you'd typically see out of space, translate into underwater. So I suppose ships being cruised into battle, sort of ground warriors and that sort of thing, like underwater catapults. Some
the
cool
crustaceans as well as like big tank characters.
Yeah, cool ideas. But I mean, none of that really provides any, I suppose, meaningful meat on the bones of this film. And I came away just feeling like I don't feel like this character particularly grew or learnt anything great in this film. It's not like the first Thor movie, right, where I didn't really love the first Thor film, but there's definitely a strong character arc for Thor in that film that you can obviously observe along the 2-hour runtime. And this was a long movie as well, 2 hours and 23 minutes. It really was dragged out quite a bit. So end of the day, again, it just sort of reaffirmed why I stopped watching DC films, because there's really nothing special about them. I will say that because of like these small saving graces like Momoa's character and his quippiness, and also the action scenes that I found enjoyment in, I did enjoy this a lot more than Wonder Woman, which I just thought was boredom, for 99% of that runtime. So
that's his pedigree from the Fast Furious, Fast Furious. What? The Fast and Furious films, right?
Right, yeah.
The action scenes and whatnot from there.
Yeah.
One thing that I hated at the end of the film is when I can't even remember her name. Mira, I think it is.
Mara, yeah.
Mira,
Amber Heard's character.
Yeah, just at the end, she's like, "This is your king," and blah blah blah. Yeah, makes that big like announcement to everyone. But it happens immediately after having like a quiet conversation with each other there, and she just turns away, and I was like, all right, you know, it just felt weird, and just so hammy.
I didn't mind the
also
attempt.
okay.
I didn't mind the attempt at the villain origin story with Black Manta as well. You know, a conflict with Aquaman at the beginning. He has this, you know, this vengeance for his father, and then from there he's just, you know, single-minded in his pursuit to try and exact revenge against Aquaman. So, yeah, I like the attempt, but it really didn't coalesce into something truly meaningful. And spoilers, looks like he's coming back for the second one because he falls off a cliff, but you don't clearly see him die, and then he appears in the after credit scene. Yeah, so can't say I'm going to be there for the sequel, which will apparently is slated for end of 2022. Aquaman and the Lost something or other. Yeah.
Wow.
So there we go. That is Aquaman.
Why can't they just go Aquaman 2? Why do they have to do that?
What
The
did they call it?
Lost Treasure or something. I don't know.
Aquaman and the
Always
Lost something. The Lost Kingdom or the Lost...
Oh,
I don't know.
I
Let me
hate
find
it.
out. Let me see.
Yep. The Lost Interest.
Hold on, Terry. I think James
slow.
Wan is directing this one. Let's see here. I go into IMDb. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. There you go. Maybe a crossover with Jurassic Park here. All right, all the dinosaurs rock up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, what's the
wow.
giant whale crocodile? It's like that thing.
Yeah.
Megalodon.
Anyway, Aquaman.
Megalodon.
It's
Megalodon's the giant shark.
it's not available in any streaming services, but it's a cheap rent on YouTube. So check it out if you hate yourself. Anyway.